What's good, y'all? Fresh out this gym. Go ahead and give y'all this video while I got the energy to do it, right? But and I was on the road here for a little bit, giving y'all content, but I got like a list of videos that I'm gonna make for y'all, and the next one on the list was this one, which is about basically how to do the cleaning business just solo. What if you don't want to scale up and hire a bunch of people and be this big, multi-million-dollar company? You just want to do a little solo act, like, not to put the little on it, but you want to stay, small enough to where you don't got 1,000 people to manage and worry about, but also big enough where you can make a decent living out of it. So I'm gonna speak to that, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It took me a while to make this video because I didn't want to talk about it, right? Like, I want everybody to think big and go bigger, right? And maximize to your fullest ability. But I understand at the end of the day, everything ain't for everybody. So let's get to it, because you can do this. So here we go. I guess I don't even know how to approach this. All right, the first thing is this: how would you do it? Just follow my video. It's the same steps, all right? So you still want to go follow that video, how to start a cleaning business step by step, or no BS guide or whatever. The video I got is right on my homepage. You go click on my YouTube channel, go to that homepage. The video is right there in order, how to start a cleaning business step by step by step. It's not no course or none of that. You literally just go on YouTube and follow those steps, all right? So you might be like, okay, well, AJ, in that video you said get the LLC and the EIN and all that. Do I still got to get that if it's just me? I say yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because even if it is just you, remember what LLC is. It's limited liability, right? That's what LLC stands for, limited liability company, right? So you want limited liability on yourself. Like, even if it's still just you, well, guess what? If you're doing good at it, eventually you probably gonna buy some assets that you own, whether it's a home, whether it's cars, whatever the case may be, right? And so what you want to do is limit the liability of the company from you. So that's one of the first reasons, and the main reason really why I say still get the LLC. All right. And then two, the second reason why I say still get the LLC is just simply because of the aesthetic, right? Because if you're going to do business, and y'all know for me, I'm talking to commercial cleaners a lot of times, like, businesses would rather pay businesses, all right? And they would also rather know that you are licensed and insured and all of that good stuff, right? So if they paying you by your name, they don't come across as very trustworthy. All right, so still go ahead and get the LLC, limit that liability, so people, if you happen to get sued, or somebody happens to get hurt, and it's due to you with having a wet floor and you ain't had no damn wet floor sign or something like that, if they do decide to sue, it wasn't the attorney can't reach over, or that you can make it harder for the attorney to reach over from your assets to from the business assets to your personal assets. All right, so still follow all those steps and do that, and then just don't hire people. All right, so you get enough business out there, you still gonna have to follow steps. You still gonna have to cold call to get business, buy leads, go door to door, whatever mechanism you choose to use in order to get your clients. You still got to go through that. It's still gonna be a numbers game. It's still gonna be a grind to go get these customers. And then once you get them, the good thing about being solo is you literally can deliver. Like, for a fact you can deliver. So if you say, we gonna clean this and this and that and use this particular product, guaranteed no matter what, for a fact you can back that up because it's you doing it. So that's one of the great things about doing solo. What they say is an old phrase: if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. Which, again, I'm not a fan of that, because it keeps you small. But at the very same time, it is true. I mean, you're gonna get way less complaints. And so what I would also do if you're gonna go solo is still do inspections. It's like, it helps that if you stay small, because you don't have to hire an inspector, right? You don't got to put systems in place to hope that the quality's still there, because guess what? It's you the quality. For a fact you ain't skipping. For a fact you ain't doing nothing crazy, because it's you and your company that you working for yourself, right? But you still should do daytime inspections, just to keep that relationship together with the customer. So that way, if you popping in at least once a quarter, going in there, one, you seeing the account in the daylight, because something about that sun beaming in through that window during the day that'll allow you to see certain things at a different angle than when you out there at night. All right, so definitely go in there to see it, like actually inspect behind yourself, but then also to build that relationship and keep that that communication going with your customer, because a lot of times we think we just gonna keep going in at night. If they don't say nothing, then everything must be cool, and silence mean consent and all that. No, like, go in there and keep that relationship strong, because the same way I'm telling y'all every day to get out there and cold call and go door to door and buy leads. And I always tell y'all, even with the leads, like, okay, you get there and they say, oh, we got a cleaning company already. Listen, it's like, people always coming to take your business. So even if you already got the contract, that's the purpose of nonstop keeping that line of communication strong, because guess what? Even if your cleaning is great, a relationship can make them fire you. So for example, you can be cleaning, never got complaints at all in this contract, right? But they met somebody at a Chamber of Commerce event. They started building a relationship with this new somebody. That person got good branding, they website, all this and that, and they might not even be as good as you, or they might be newer than you, but because of the relationship they built with that new person, they'll fire you and put the new person in there, all because of the relationship. So make sure too, even though it's just you and you know that it's clean, don't think you ain't got to still do inspections. Still make sure you maintain that relationship, building that relationship with the customer. All right, now I'm gonna go to some personal sides of this stuff too. If you're gonna do solo, have you some insurance ready. All right, so make sure you got liability coverage, again, in case you do get sued, right? And then also you might want to look into getting some workman's comp coverage or something, like, because what happens if you get hurt? You got to figure out, like, okay, what's my plan B for if I break my leg and can't go out to clean? You know what I mean? So start thinking about things like that, and then maybe consider hiring 1 or 2 helpers just in case. You know, you sick one day. What's your plan for that? What happens when you get sick? Sick is a part of life, right? So what happens when that happens? So think about these things, all right? But also, keep your personal expenses low, because at the end of the day, like, as a single solo cleaner, you can probably do, let me see, it just depends on, you know what I mean, like the kind of type of contract you can get, but let's just say up to about $8,000 per month by yourself, maybe with 1 or 2 helpers. That's probably about the absolute max, and that's what you probably working 6 to 7 days a week. You know what I mean? But you definitely gonna be working, but at least you ain't got no job. At least it's gonna be on your own time, because most of the accounts can probably be after hours anyway. You probably can sleep in a little bit, start some of these contracts later. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of benefits to doing it that way. I'm not a fan of it myself, as you can kind of hear, but it is doable. And guess what? It's peaceful too. You ain't chasing around subcontractors and employees hoping they do a good job. You ain't getting you shouldn't be getting a bunch of complaints from customers because you doing it yourself and you know you doing it right. You ain't got to keep getting, like, because once you fill up that pipeline, you fill up your customer base, the whole getting up, dressed up, and going out to sell, because a lot of people don't want to do that. You ain't got to do it. You dress down, sleep in all day. When it's time to get up and go clean, you get up and go clean. Knock it out. Peaceful. You work with your headphones on, and you by yourself. So can you do it? Absolutely. Do you still got to follow the steps I said? Yes, still follow those steps and just do it. All right. Should you still join Clean Biz Network at www.cleanbiznetwork.com and click the join us button? Absolutely you should, right? Because we still gonna help you. You're gonna run into questions. Do you know how to send proposals? Are you still doing but you still got to do your books regardless, right? You still got to pay your taxes regardless. So you're gonna need to know how to do these things. You still should have a website regardless. Do you have to have one? No, nobody has to have a website, but should you have a website? Absolutely, it'll help you. All right. So it's like, still follow the steps, still do the things. Most of the stuff that I'm saying in all of these videos still apply to you, except for when I'm talking about managing subcontractors or employees, or talking about scaling and automation. You don't need all that stuff if it's just you. All right. But you still got to be a real business. You still got to make sure that you're doing, you know, what business entails. All right. So that's the message for this video. Like I said, I ain't really want to talk about this, so it took me a while to get to it. But that's what I got for y'all. Hopefully it helped somebody, because a few people was asking me this here recently, and I'm like, you know, here we go. Hopefully it helps somebody. And as far as like from Clean Biz Network, what programs should you go through if you decide to be solo? Just join the basic membership. All right, go ahead and cleanbiznetwork.com, click join us, and then follow through. It's gonna come with the Clean Biz Starter course. Just follow that course. It's gonna have you getting everything straight from, you know, getting set up and all of that, getting your books together, then getting your website together, and then how to get customers. What else? How to clean. And then we're gonna skip the part about hiring people, because you don't want that part, and then go and follow the rest of the you know, how to bid and all of that good stuff. All right, but that's what I got for y'all. I'm AJ Simmons, founder of the Clean Biz Network. I will talk to y'all soon. Let's get it, y'all.